Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today, going to be a Midrank Madness game sent to SniperMonkey at the email address in the description. Check them out. If you want to cast your Midrank Madness game, it's just a platinum, gold, or diamond level replay sent, again, to SniperMonkey if you're proud of it. I guarantee he will watch all of them. Let me know which ones are the best and then give me the option to choose, okay? So top right, we have kevinECU with a spinning Unidos gaming clan tag. Por Victoro, I think for victory? Bottom left, we have a Zerg player. It is ATOY. Alright, so a red versus blue ZVT here on Glittering Ashes, a map that teases you with gold minerals, but you can't mine any because all of the bases are not gold bases, just standard blue. Very weird situation here. Alright, so SCV scouting to make sure it is a hatch first play. A little bit early, but that's okay. Just scouting at all in these lower leagues is very, very helpful. Alright, so 16, 18, 17. kevinECU says, alright, everything is okay for me to make a Reaper and send it across the map, because the spawning pool is nowhere near done. And let's see if he makes a Reaper cut shout. Oh, it's a Marine. So at these lower leagues, Reaper control isn't very good, and so a few of the Terrans don't like to make them, but for scouting purposes, I do suggest that you make a Reaper in ZVT. You don't have to try to kill anything if you don't want to, but it helps, right? It helps to scout out a quick Baneling Nest or a quick Roach Warren or a fast lair or a second gas. Like, there's just a billion things you can see with that Reaper at the timing he comes across. But the Reaper can't kill this Overlord, so like, alright. I mean, I'm not going to be too mad about this, I guess. Watch the Overlord disappear. You ready for this? What? He gone, but he's here, but he's gone. But he's here. What are you going to do to kill it? Ooh, lifting your command center for just a minute, getting these Marines to kill it would be pretty awesome. Or, I guess if you don't want to make a Reaper, you're going to send an SCV out. Just keep it here. Keep scouting for that second gas, or the lair timing, or the Roach Horn, or the Baneling Nest, right? All these things would be pretty scary for you to have to deal with. Marines taking out their aggression and not being able to kill the Overlord on killing these unbuildable plates here, which are basically... They were put in the game to make sure you can't just throw 3 pylons down here and wall a Zerg player into their main base. Because that used to be all the rage in ZVP, like so much all the rage that they actually built unbuildable plates into the game to prevent it from happening. Look at that Queen skin. I kind of like it, actually. It's not the mech. It's the mech hatch, and it's mech drones, but the Queen has a different skin here, which you can do, obviously. So, I don't know what it is. It's kind of nice. Alright, so let's see if ATOY's going to get a third base. We're at 3 minutes. We're a little bit late on that third base timing. You're floating about 500, 300 minerals here. Wait, did we expand? Is that... Yes, okay. So we are expanding at 330, which traditionally I would recommend expanding at 230 against a player who went for a 1-rax expand here, which this Terran did, which your Overlord saw. So just a recommendation for Falcon is getting that third base down at 230 helps a lot. And getting your macro up and equal and higher than what the Terran player is doing. The Terran player is doing everything pretty normally. Going into Hellion Harass, working on, a Viking to deal with that Overlord, okay. An early Viking is pretty standard stuff here too. Oversaturating your gas in the main base is not something I recommend doing. I like this handful of Lings from ATOY as well. Just keeping the Terran player honest a little bit. Maybe pop up, kill an SCV. Alright, that's a win. And then the Hellions show up, you back out because there's 4 of them, and 4 flamethrowers are pretty effective against a handful of Zerglings. So good job. Good job by both players there. Getting that wall up, because dealing with Ling run-bys is a lot easier if you have a wall. Pro tip. Overlord gets killed by the Viking with super cool missile launchers on its back. Looks like it should be able to shoot more than 2 missiles at a time, but, you know, sometimes the unit design and the lore are different things. Oh, ho, ho. Ho, ho, ho. An armory from kevinECU. You going for Hellbats, man. We do not see a lot of Hellbats at the lower leagues. Honestly, I'm going to say we don't see a ton of Hellions either. It's kind of a high macro requirement thing here. But we'll see how he does. Nicely done here at ATOY. Got his queens, trying to deal with these Hellions. Speedlings on creep, too, can get us around here. Oh, the Baneling connections! That's exactly what ATOY wanted. What ATOY should be doing now is throwing up about 50 Zerglings. Actually, you know what? Scratch that. I really would like to see him drone up his third base instead. So 50 drones, when we make 16 lings, and since if your Hellions are dead, it's going to be harder for you to deal with a Baneling bust of any kind. So let's see if he does that. Throws up. Oh, he does throw up some. Dude, this is a man after my own heart. I get it. I get this compulsion to be like, I'm going... Okay, I killed the Hellions. It is time to go with Lings and Banes and just win it now. Because I hate Widowmines and I hate Ghosts. And I hate Liberators. And I hate a lot of what Terran can do mid to late game. So I'm going to try to kill him at this point. And let's see how he does here. That's actually... Okay, so we're just going to Baneling bust down that wall. Couple Hellions coming out. Reinforcements to try to help with this thing. The supply block is not happening for Kevin. Oh, the Hellbat transformation helps keep them alive. The Medevac can heal them when they're in Hellbat form. Excellent. So ATOY's like, well, I killed a couple supply depots. I killed some Marines. Maybe an SCV went down there. Nothing too crazy. The wall's getting replanted, and that actually hurts. ATOY should have a fully saturated third base here. Traditionally, how you want to do this if you're a Zerg player is if you only go for that Baneling bust if you can kill the opponent. If you can kill them outright. You have enough Lings and Banes to do that and great control, and they don't have exactly what they need to defend it. Which he did. You see Kevin here looking pretty good on that front with the Hellbats, the Marines, the Medevacs, the Hellions, etc. So ATOY going for a Roach Warren. Got 54 workers, actually. Alright, so oversaturating the natural base a bit, but putting workers on gas would help with that problem immediately. Also oversaturated the main base. So sending some of these workers down to the third, but guess what? There are no workers at the third. Well, there are some here, but there'd be more to die if they were here. Medevac is trying to heal up here, but also out of energy, so the Ling Queen's going to be way more effective in this situation. Thanks to that energy being down on that Medevac, and the Queens doing their part as well on the defense. Yeah, but doing some drone transfer... Oh, man, getting that gas up, too. This is definitely Midrank madness. This is definitely oversaturating bases, forgetting to put workers on gas, things that we all need to work on. I understand that. But also, you think you can win with Ling counterattacks, which maybe is not necessarily the case. You're going to maybe chomp in here a little bit. Engineering Bay losing an upgrade would be pretty fantastic for ATOY, but enough Marines and Hellbats that can kind of send fire through that wall. It's going to be okay. Creep spread looking good for ATOY. Another base from ATOY. I love that. So a 4-basing Zerg versus a 2-basing Terran. Pretty good for the Zerg player. Terran kind of needs to move out, but we got some Roaches in production from ATOY here. He's getting a bit of a Roach army. Ooh, that's a nice skin for those Roaches. All those extra spikes are making them look extra fearsome. Fearsome foursome indeed. Alright, so Kevin knows as a Terran player really got to put the pressure on. I would recommend making Widowmines, which he's doing. Kevin making some Widowmines here, some more Medevacs, working on that 1-1 upgrades for the Marines and the Marauders, which I don't know if he has any Marauders right now. He doesn't seem to know. So, yeah, just kind of playing early TVZ, just everybody style. Here Marine does this, right? Innovation does this. I mean, who else? Hero Marine, I already said him. I think Marine Lord does it as well. Maru does it. And then you maybe move into Marauders once your opponent starts to make things like Roaches and Lurkers, because then the Marauders are way better. And actually, trying to throw up some static defense here. No, a little bit too late, and paid the ultimate price. A couple of those Medevacs. Nice pickup. Really nice pickup and evacuation there from kevinECU. So back home, got his army, got his Marines, got his Widowmines, throwing down a bunch of mules because he hasn't been using his energy all that well. He has a huge oversaturation at his natural base. Same thing in his main here, too. Trying to get a third base. He knows this shouldn't be a planetary for economic purposes, but also he needs to be able to defend this. What is happening? Oh my gosh, Widowmine drops. What? Midrank Madness, Widowmine drops. Who are you kidding? This is crazy. No spores at all for ATOY. Oh, he's got a spore at the natural base. No spore in the main base. This Roach Ravager thing is looking pretty darn strong. Did he bring in detection to deal with the Widowmines? Nobody's corrosive piling them down. Really? Effectively, but too late. Widowmine catches those Banelings, destroys them. Roach Ravager at your front door. That engineering base not working on an upgrade, but it could if it wasn't dead. Everybody needs to be attacking. Corrosive piles need to be firing every time it's off cooldown, which is very often. I would recommend that from ATOY. He does toss it down. Pretty good dodging here from the Terran player as well. But this isn't a stage of the game where roaches and ravagers are going to be more effective than they should be. That'll go away once the 3-3 is ready for the Marines and the Marauders. And in fact, at this point, they do have the 1-1. +1 missile attack is done here for the Zerg player. And trying to heal up, the Marauders are there to deal with the roaches. They're not as good against the Ravagers because the Ravagers are not armored units. Trying to come in here, just getting the engineering bay, I think, would be pretty awesome. He's giving it to you, but no, he stands in, gets overwhelmed, and all the Ravagers die. Rebuilding the wall. Third base re-landing here. ATOY sitting on about 100 minerals. He's oversaturated at his third base now. He's fixed that problem. Well, because there's still Widow Mines here. Oh no. 7-8 kill Widow Mine here. Finally gets noticed by the Queen. The Spore Crawler has been detecting it for a while now. Goodness gracious. Another drop here. There are 2 completely empty medevacs in this army, which is a little bit weird. I guess he didn't really have the army to send with him at the time. Maybe he wanted to keep some people at home, which is totally optional and a fine thing to do. But you got to keep pressure on the Zerg, or they're just going to drone up and come overwhelm you later. He knows that, so kevinECU coming in again to this 4th base. Trying to set up. That is a lot of lings, and he just gets on out. He doesn't like what he sees whatsoever. Ooh, some Hydras out, too. And the traditional move of moving into the main base when your attack on that base just outside the main does not work. I like getting the extractor. That's good. That is going to be something that maybe ATOY won't remember to replace when he needs to. Let's see how long it takes him to remember. We've seen professional players forget to put workers back on gas after they die for like 3 minutes. So I'm not trying to shame anybody here, but definitely you need this gas income if you're going for this Roach Ravager, especially Hydra stuff. Pretty darn gas intensive for sure. Working on +2 a missile attack, working on +1 Carapace. The 2-2 is getting started here from kevinECU. Is this East Carolina University? Do we think that's what ECU is? Looks more like kind of a Phoenix icon than I think ECU is the Pirates. If my understanding of college football and mascots is accurate. Don't know. Okay, so, alright. Handful of Hydra is not going to really do super well here, but yeah, especially with that medevac support here, that guy goes down. Hydra do pretty well against Marauders, but you're just completely, absolutely outnumbered here. Widow Mine's getting some pretty decent hits there, but ATOY just has more stuff here. Engaging off creep is not something I would generally recommend. Banelings not doing huge great trades against those Marauders there, but could be worse. Reinforcements from kevinECU walking across the map. Banelings crashing into Marauders is not bad, but also if you can just kite them and not die, that's also better. These roaches are all very dead. Look at them die. Are you ready for them to die? Dead roach, dead roach. He doesn't have concussive shell for his Marauder. Oh, he does have concussive shell. All right, what else? So yeah, the roaches all die. The Hydras are a larger problem here. Production tab looking pretty good for Kevin. He is working on more Marines, more Marauders. The upgrades are awesome. +1 air weapons here too. Yeah, roaches against Marauders is just never a good thing. Hydra's kind of standing in, doing all right, but also a million Zerglings in this very oversaturated third base. Absolutely obliterating a total SCV count there at the third. Fare thee well, every worker at that base. Ay caramba. Ay caramba. Moving further, trying to... Oh man, the Ling surrounds on these Marauders are just sick. Widowmine's doing friendly fire more than anything else here. That's not good. Zerglings jumping on the tanks. It's a good thing, but not when it's like 4 Zerglings versus 4 tanks. You need more than that. Oh, Widowmine just kind of casually still here. Kevin doing great Widowmine stuff today. Honestly, impressive Widowmine stuff. And it's just going to be Hydras from ATOY. Like, I understand this, but you probably should supplement with some Lings and Banes. Especially against siege tanks, where if you have enough siege tanks, they will just obliterate your Hydras. In a ball like this, splash damage is amazing. But production tab says, yeah, 18 Lings are in to assist. They do much better against siege tanks if they can close that distance at least. We've got these Widowmines out. Let's see if ATOY can save this 4th base or not. Widowmine takes down a Queen. I mean, almost takes down a Queen, but whatever. Widowmine, friendly fire, but kills a lot of those Zerglings. Tanks firing up here, but largely wasting shots on Zerglings. Widow Mines clearing them out. Tank down, tank down. Small group of Marines and Marauders are here. Medivacs are healing up, but the damage output of Hydras is so high that they're just winning battles here. It's not massive numbers of Marines and Marauders. Like, we're not seeing maxed out armies here. It's just been a scrap fest for sure. Ton of mules get called down for kevinECU. Income is looking all right. He's, you know, got a bunch of money. Actually, no, he's been spending it very well here. He's only got 36 workers, which is a problem. He needs to make more SCVs. He is producing an SCV now. He's kind of relying on mules for that mineral income, which is fine. I'm not going to say he can't, but yeah, this is not a big, scary Terran army. What you need to do, especially if you're Terran or Protoss, is just be like, I'm looking at my army, what I'm attacking with. Is this a big, scary Terran army? Is this what I would be afraid of if I saw it coming? And if the answer is no, then, like, don't do it, I guess. Widow Mine catches a couple drones there. Okay, fine. 21 drones have died. 32 SCVs have died, though. Ultimately, fairly problematic. Yeah, these tanks just not in high enough numbers to really withstand. They're going to get target fired by the Roaches, Ravagers, and Hydralisks here. Upgrades are 2-2 for the Marines and the Marauders. It is only 2-1 for the Zerg units in the battle here. So upgrade advantage to Kevin. Working on 3-3 would be amazing for him right now. Let's see if he can pull that off or not. He's not really starting it, which I think he's going to regret. Oh! Corrosive Vial taking down a couple of Medivacs there. Insanely good. Siege Tank does not get saved. Corrosive Vial would have finished it off anyway here. Oh, a couple of Ravagers die. Reinforcements showing up. Picks up, unloads just a second away. Reinforcements are here, and Kevin is continuing to move. Ooh, Kevin, a very overstimmed, injured army here. The Medivac doesn't have any energy for healing, but the hatch goes down anyway, and ATOY gets knocked down to 3 total bases. Okay, that's a humongous play. Third base by Kevin. Getting muled here. Army value is 62 to 43. More Medivacs I think would be good for Kevin, but this is a mid-rank madness game. We're not going to worry about that right now. We're just going to continue to make Marines and Marauders, and we're going to wander him to Zerg territory with our completely overstim units and hope we don't get surrounded by Zerglings, because that will absolutely kill us. Lurker 10's on the way from ATOY. Will he be able to enjoy the fruits of that is the question here. And golly, overstimmed. Hydras, however, taking direct tank fire now from 2 separate siege tanks. They get one of them, but man, those Hydra corpses are flying. Creep Tumor's down. It's 29 to 32 army supply. The scrap here is high level, excellent scrap right now. I'm really enjoying this one. Siege tank sets up. We're making Medivacs now. Will these units see the benefits of the Medivacs? The answer seems to be no. They're all going to die. Siege tank alone against 4 or 5 Hydras is just not going to work out. You need kind of a critical number, but look at this. Another base from kevinECU. ATOY's got 3 bases, but Kevin's on 4. The counterattack needs to be real here from ATOY. Is he going to make some lurkers? Oh, man. Kevin is not defending, just simply not defending this 3rd base today. He has no units at all here. There we go. Lurkers on the way from ATOY. These are very good units. There's a lot of units in the lower levels of StarCraft that are better at the lower leagues than they are at the professional leagues, and Lurkers are one of them. Lurkers are insanely good at this level. They're very good at the high level. They're very part of a lot of different compositions that Zerg players use right now at the professional level, but they are better at this level because dealing with them is a lot harder than using them. As the Lurkers destroy this base, Lings rolling into the 4th base causing problems. Marauders not actually great at dealing with Lings, turns out. Bit of a drop in the main base. Spores are going to deal with these Medivacs very easily, but the Queens are dying. The Lurkers. Dealing with the Lurkers. Where are the siege tanks? Where are the ghosts? Where are the Marauders? Oh, the Marauders are wandering into Lurker Spineville and getting destroyed. This group gets taken care of, and the counterattack here from ATOY is absolutely having a wonderful time. SCV count continues to plummet. 47 have died. There are 24 workers for Kevin right now, and he GG's out. That's it. The Lurkers were too much. They were too much for him, as predicted. 5 kills, 7 kills, 6 kills, 3 kills. Lurkers. Getting to them can be kind of hard for Zerg players, but once you're up there at the Midrank Madness gold, platinum, diamond level, they're going to be really good for you. They just are. You're really going to enjoy using them, Zerg players. Man, get knocked back to 3 bases. It really just came down to Kevin not defending his third base at all. And honestly, at this level, I know the professionals don't take a planetary for their third base, but I would have done that, honestly, if I was Kevin. It would have kept a lot of SCVs alive today if this was a planetary. And if this was a planetary too, dude, he pulled it from his main. That's where that came from. Okay, I get it economically. But yeah, I mean, some good Widow Mine drops here, some really nice Marine Marauder style pushes. Killing this base was a big deal, but he just couldn't follow it up. He couldn't follow it up with additional attacks because he really didn't have the income, because this base kept dying, and then he was dealing with this happening, and his SCV count was terrible. And that was all she wrote. He really didn't have anything to do with the Lurker. Siege tanks are a good answer to them, for sure. But he kept losing tanks to Hydras and smaller group attacks, and maybe just attacking with bigger groups of units would have been better for Kevin too. Just a thought on that one. And then ATOY just scrapping and clawing, man. Anytime you lose a hatchery and down to 3 bases at 20 minutes, that is a bad, bad feeling. But was able to tech up to the Lurkers in time. The Hydras and the Lings and the Banes and the Ravagers and the Roaches held on well enough. I'm not going to say they were super cost efficient, because I don't think they were. But they did enough to keep that tank count low, so the Lurkers are going to be more effective, which is great. 9 tanks died today, which is amazing. 58 Hydras went down. That's more than I expected. 15 Medivacs too. Yeah, as a Zerg player, professionally, you need to take down Medivacs as much as you can. With Spores, with Hydras, with Queens, whatever it is, you need to get that done. And that's exactly what happened here today. So GG, well done. ATOY gets the win here for our Midrank Madness cast of the week. Again, if you want me to cast your replay, make sure it's gold, platinum, or diamond. Send it to SniperMonkey at the email address in the description. Title it Midrank Madness, and I guarantee he'll watch it. So that is going to be it for me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.
The path of ascension is before us. Our honor guides us.